All right now.
Patrick Mahomes is basically God playing quarterback.
Live!
They want it. They want it.
Yeah, when it's grim, be the Grim Reaper. Go get it.
That's a different tier right there, baby.
Yeah, we're not having a snowball fight.
He'll get handled when he gets handled.
The Lombardi Trophy has a red and gold reflection. Touchdown! Kansas City! One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce. Do it live!
Let's go!
Sorry. You gotta fight for your right to party!
Let's go!
Howdy, Chiefs Kingdom. It's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock. It's Chiefs Kingdom Live. Thank you so much for joining us. If you would, real quick, if you don't mind, before you forget, make sure to click or tap that like and click or tap that subscribe button. Maybe turn on those notifications so we don't miss you when we go live. As always, tell a friend, tell a family member, tell some Chiefs fans, help spread the word. We'd really appreciate it. You all make the show fun. We got a good one tonight. After the bye week, the Chiefs have a huge game against a division rival. Regardless of what some people say online, the Broncos are a rival. On Sunday in Denver at Mile High. It's a big game. So we're going to talk about that. If you got a question, you got a topic, you got something you want to say, make sure you throw it up in the chat. We'll do our best to get to you. It looks like I see Lainey and Maria in there. I'm sure the rest of the regulars will be showing up, hopefully some new people. Before we get into it, Bo, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing excellent. Yeah, it was a long week. Halfway through it, though, but we're here. Glad we didn't have to really stress over football this weekend. Made it for some really stress-free watching football. But no, I'm doing good. Good to see you guys. How you doing, Nick?
I'm great, man. Let's go left-handed quarterbacks. Huh? How about Tua this past weekend? That was a
Right?
fun one to watch.
Yeah.
With
That was not on my
Chiefs
bingo
team.
card.
Yeah.
Scott?
The Chiefs they should have beaten the Bill. I still we talked about it last week, right, when we did the show, and it was what was our biggest takeaway or how we felt and about the game, about the loss to the Bills. And I think I said I was just surprised. I feel like the Chiefs are a lot better than the Bills. I feel like the Bills had maybe taken a step backwards this year, weren't as good as they had been. Weren't really running away, right, and hiding from everybody with the soft schedule that they had going into the season, and then they follow up their Super Bowl with a loss to the Miami Dolphins. So, it was definitely frustrating, but I'm doing good. A little bit of a cold snap there for a couple days, but it's going to start warming back up here heading into the weekend. Caught the Aurora Borealis in Missouri.
Dude, the pictures you guys sent were amazing. That's wild.
Right. Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. That's some red skies in Chiefs Kingdom. I guess I don't have to worry about going to Alaska now.
Right? That's exactly the thing.
Bucket list, check.
Right. Yeah, I was not expecting to check that one off the bucket list. So,
From
this
your
game's-
backyard, nonetheless.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We'll say this, though, because last time when they're like, you could see the Aurora Borealis, and I looked outside, I was like,
I can kind of see
the
it.
sky's going to look vaguely purple, right?
Right.
And so then everybody's talking about it last night. When I looked at my back door last night, though, I was like, oh, holy shit. It looks legit tonight,
Right.
So, we got a little bit of the hot girl Instagram filter going on with the photos there, Bo. I think I told you that. But, yeah,
Nice. That's
it
the
was
photo Nick sent me. That's what Kansas City looked like. That's wild.
That's about the
Utah
perfect
did
color
not look
too,
like
right?
that.
So,
Yeah, definitely was definitely a red. Nick, I loved the video you sent, and you could hear one of the girls in the background, one of your daughters, say, "I think we're the only people that know this is happening right now."
I don't think that's
I don't think so, honey.
It's known.
But I thought that was super cute. But yeah. So we got some Red Skies. Chiefs Kingdom bye week is over. Playing the Broncos. We're going to change it up a little bit this week. We're going to get into the poll question right out the gate here, as we always do, especially before a big contest, like to go around the circle here and just kind of give a heat check, like take a pulse, how we're feeling about the game. Start with Bo there on the bottom. Bo, how are you feeling? Like, what's the confidence level or the nervousness level going into we'll talk about whether this is a must win or not maybe here in a little bit, but just how you feeling about this one, man?
Yeah, no, I loved how you put it on X, just all emojis, right? I was looking just now because you said it. You're like, I'm gonna pull it up. I was looking for my sunglasses. I should have got them. Dang it. No, I feel great. I have the sunglasses emoji. That's where I'm feeling. Go. Denver, to me, they don't look as impressive as the record portrays. They've played a lot of really mediocre teams and have barely eked by wins against them. So, combine that with how we've been playing the past couple of weeks. Granted, we did take that L to Buffalo, but I still feel like what we have compared to what they have, it matches up so good. So, yeah, super confident going into this game.
Nick, how are you feeling? If you're watching there at home, make sure you throw up in the chat. How are your confidence level? If you voted in the poll, you can, or if you haven't voted in the poll, you can go check us out on X at Chiefs Kingdom Live. Nick,
yeah,
how you feeling about this one, man?
I mean, I feel about as confident as I have about any game all year, to be honest. Like, I know people are comparing the Broncos this year and they're to the Chiefs last year, and they're like, well, I mean, yeah, but they're winning, right? And the Chiefs went 15-2. They made it to the Super Bowl. They eked by a bunch of, like lesser teams or whatever. And this Broncos team, they remind me a lot more of that Steelers team that went 11-0. Right. I think that was the better than a bye.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're going to crush this team. I don't know why. I feel like supremely confident in this one. Coming off a bye week, it's really a do or die game for the Chiefs. I mean, they won't be out of the playoffs, but the division will probably be out of reach, right? If we lose this game, so they're probably a wild card team, unless the wheels could totally fall off for the Broncos. But I feel like this is a game that the Chiefs are prepared for. You got all the stuff coming up. Andy Reid after a bye, I just feel like this is a perfect storm. The Chiefs haven't forgot that 38-0 trying to run up the score when we played all of our starters and let them get to the playoffs. I don't know. I feel like they're going to crush the Broncos, man. I really do.
Yeah. How you feeling about this game? You as confident as your brother?
Man, I'm really confident about the game, but I was really confident about the Bills game too. So I don't know if that's, you know what I mean? And look, our confidence level and how we feel has no impact really on the outcome. Look, the Chiefs, they should win this game. Confidence level, I'm probably like an 8.5 out of 10, right? I don't know how you could watch the Broncos and some of the miracle comebacks they've had against crappy teams. One of you guys just mentioned, Nick, about comparing to the Chiefs last year and all the one-score close games they won. The Chiefs had a lot more difficult schedule last year than the Broncos have had this year. I don't know the Chiefs or the Broncos, if they beaten any of these teams that have a winning record.
The Eagles, right?
The Eagles, okay, there's one. But, outside of that, they really have not played a tough schedule at all. So, Bo Nix, there's numbers out there that suggest he is in the bottom half or maybe even closer to the bottom of NFL quarterbacks. But they seem like they've got that come from behind, or they've got that, like they kick it into another gear at the end, right when time's running out. So, I feel pretty good. I feel confident about this game, especially, the Chiefs. It's how many times have you heard people say, especially when the Chiefs are playing somebody in past years, like, oh, this is a wounded animal, or they're cornered animal, or that, you know what I mean? Like their back's against the wall. And so you're going to come out swinging. So, I think when you add that factor into a team that has guys like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and company, that's going to be a bad recipe for whoever they're playing. So, Nick, I mean, the Broncos, to you, I mean, you kind of mentioned, I mean, like how legit or how dangerous are they, or Bo Nix?
Yeah, like, man, I remember growing up when we had like Steve Bono, and it was like, who's showing up to the game, right? Like, I think mom always would be like, is it going to be Cinderella or Frankenstein? Like,
Right.
those are like, I don't know why that's stuck in my brain, but he's kind of like that, right? And I think that really, like, he's not a great thrower of the football. He does have like he makes some good passes, but he makes a lot of plays with his legs. And so I think it's going to be crucial for the Chiefs to spy him. But like, yeah, I think he's just like he's like a average to below average quarterback with a really really good defense. Dude, it like reminds me so much of the Chiefs of the '90s, right? Like their defense is stifling and they're holding people to like 10 points, and so the Broncos like win 11-10. That said, like, he's had some, that miracle 33-point fourth quarter against the Giants, right, to win the game. So I don't want to like detract too much credit from what they're doing because they're still winning the games, right? Like you got to go out, you score more points than the other team, you're winning your division. So like I don't want to sit there and they're not like total garbage, but I just feel like if the Chiefs play their A game and the Broncos play like their A game, like I think the Chiefs are head and shoulders above how good this team is. And is Simmons is playing, right?
He's back and he's practicing this week. So
yeah, so I mean he's gonna have like the need to like feel like he's got something to prove, right, to the coaches that like they're he's a rookie, he had to step out, for whatever reasons he had there. So that he's going to be, looking to have a good game coming up against a quality defense. I just, like I don't know. I'm not a big believer in Bo Nix, man. I mean, I saw him throw, to a receiver in the end zone, and then it hit the ground about 4 yards before the end zone. Like I just like, and they're like, oh well, he really couldn't step into that throw, and I'm like, I mean, you got to step into a 15-yard, throw. Like,
right.
I just, it just doesn't seem like he's going to be like the guy that is going to will them to victory. And to be honest, I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I'm excited about this game too, because with all their like fourth quarter comebacks and stuff, it's like a really good excuse for the Chiefs to like just keep pouring it on in the fourth quarter, right? Where they're like, well, like, I mean, we typically don't run up the score, but like they showed that they can score 30 points in the fourth quarter.
Right.
So like that's why we really felt like we needed to get to 50, right? Like so I'm excited for this game. I hope I'm too, obviously I hope I'm not wrong, but I feel really really good about this one.
Bo, what do you think about this Broncos team? They're 8-2. They're tied for the best record in the NFL. I mean, how much do you think they're overperforming, or I mean, is the schedule not indicative of their team? What do you kind of think about this team?
This team's an anomaly to me, right? Because like I watch them play, and honestly, this weekend not having a Chiefs game was the first weekend I really digested a Broncos game, and it just looks so terrible. I mean, their defense. I mean, we had just played the Raiders and like did not struggle against their defense like that.
No,
but man, their defense was stifling as well. But what Nick said, 10 points, 11 points for a victory. People are comparing the Raiders to the Chiefs last year. Like, oh, they had a lot of these 1-point games. I don't remember the Chiefs winning like with 10 points, with 11 points. You know what I mean? Like they were at least 3 scores. But Bo Nix is a character to me, man. He makes such terrible decisions. I agree with Nick. He's not a great thrower of the ball, but he just has these moments where it like finally clicks for him, or like they scheme it just right for him, and most quarterbacks could make that pass. The fourth quarter stuff to me is I have a hard time giving all the credit to Bo Nix and the Broncos versus the teams they're playing, just relaxing and kind of like giving up a little bit, shooting themselves in the foot, letting them come back more so than anything.
Yeah.
And that Raiders game too, that was That was just so ugly, man. Like,
Right.
it's so hard to watch that game and then even watch us lose to the Bills and think like, oh yeah, this team stands a chance. I'm with Nick. I think like we match up so much better against them. Our offense, if Nick, as Nick pointed out, if our A game's coming and their A game's coming, I'll take ours any day of the week. Ours is just more high flying. We have just such more threats. It seems like they only have like one or two guys really. Their running back core hasn't done really anything. Gene T has kind of been a dud all year. Bowers kind of came back. He's like the only like guy you really have to pay attention to. I'm sorry, I'm talking about the Raiders. I still am talking about the Raiders, but yeah, but the Broncos. It's just, I said at the top, I don't think that the record shows how good they are. I mean, is it just me? You guys have seen like how like awful their play is and like how like almost fortunate they are to win in the fourth quarter. I wouldn't say it's hard work or like making plays, man. It's like the other team's shooting themselves more so in the foot, and I just can't believe that that we're like on the outside looking in towards them right now.
Yeah, that's a good point about the other teams kind of blowing it really more so than maybe the Broncos taking it back. And that's what bad teams do, right? Bad teams find ways to lose games, and so look, the Broncos are definitely not a bad team.
No.
The record shows that they're better than some of these other teams they've beaten, but how much better? I think that's the question. You know, the Giants, right, allowing them to have scored 33 points, and some of the decisions that they made and some of the plays that they gave up were just horrendous. The Jets totally jetted at the end of that game over there. I think that game was in London, right? Or was that one of the European games?
Yeah, it was
where the Broncos needed a last-second thing. Like,
maybe?
they did some really boneheaded stuff. The Jets did there at the end of that game. Yeah, Ireland. That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is other teams, bad teams choking it away. And so I think the Broncos, their defense puts them in that middle tier of teams. But the offense, there was a stat going around on, and I can't remember. I think I heard it. Maybe it was on 96.5 or they were quoting somebody, or maybe I saw it on X. But it's like they've scored one touchdown in their last 17 offensive drives. So, look, man, like that's a good analogy, Nick, you put to the Chiefs back when they had really, really good defenses and just couldn't score points. I'm still going to say that Eagles game, man. Like, I know we hate blaming games on the refs, but can we blame games on the refs that aren't Chiefs games? The refs totally screwed the Eagles over 3 or 4 times at the end of that game by not calling that, which is even more laughable that they called that intentional grounding on Patrick Mahomes against the Bills 2 weeks ago. Bo Nix clearly intentionally grounded the ball, and I want to say they even threw the flag, and then they talked about it and picked up the flag. It was clear as day, the intentional grounding. I feel like if that penalty would have held up or been called, I don't think the Broncos win that game. Definitely pass interference down there at the 1 or 2 yard line on the Eagles receiver that they didn't call that would have given the Eagles a chance to at least, I mean, definite field goal range from there, maybe even a chance to punch it in. So I think there's a luck factor to it, but I do think you do have to give some credit to Denver. And so, again, I don't think they're like one of these bottom feeder teams. I don't think that they are a Jets or a Giants or a Raiders level team. Their record clearly shows that they're not. But do I consider them to be one of the best teams in the NFL or the best team in the AFC and a serious contender? No, I don't think you can be that unbalanced between offense and defense and be a serious threat.
Right.
Bo, I mean, what do you think is maybe a key for the Chiefs in this game to win? What are you looking to do you think that they need to do?
I mean, a lot of the stuff we just need to work on defensively. Like we kind of talked about it last week. There's just a lot of slop that we saw against Buffalo that's easily to clean up, right? Don't slip on your cover route. Maybe let's win some pressures. I know that's a big ask from the defensive line, but you guys get paid a lot of money to make that happen. I'd like to see somebody, right, not just have to rely on 95 to get that done. If we can get some defensive pressures, make Bo Nix scramble, make him get out of his game. I think we see a lot of what we've seen all season, just like make him be that fourth quarter quarterback, right? Like he can't do it in the first 3 quarters if he's scrambling. Let's make him be that fourth quarter quarterback by putting pressure in his face. And for us, it's just on offense, just not shooting ourselves in the foot. Get some good drives rolling, right? Like I'd like to see some good deep ball threats, just quick ones, like 10, 15 yards, like you were just mentioning. Stuff you don't have to like really step into, but more just than like 6, 7 yard crossing routes or dumping it off to the flat or something like that. I'd like to see some aerial attacks from us and really open up their defense to let our run game get some breathing room, right? I'd like just for once, I would love a running back on our team just to have a day, right? Just find a pocket, find a lane, just have a day, just feel
pop
it,
off
man.
for 120 yards and a couple touchdowns. That'd be nice.
It's just grinding on our running backs is so stressful. I mean, it works, but it's just like, man, just jabbing. I'd just love to see a right hook from one of our running backs.
Right.
I think that would be a key if we could get something to pop off like that offensively.
Right. I mean, I think Pacheco's getting back, so I think that
didn't
can help.
practice today though.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been hearing different things about that, so we'll see if he can come back and play or not. Elijah Mitchell, Bueller, are you there?
You see what Andy Reid said?
Yeah, I saw that. I don't. He doesn't know the. Listen, man, like the Chiefs, I don't want to be like one of these Chiefs bashers. Like a lot of the people you see on social media right now, and all this front office sucks, and all the good draft picks came from John Dorsey, and Andy Reid doesn't do this good, and but I will say, like, one of the criticisms, and I've said this before on this show, to me is like they lean on and go to guys that they're familiar with and are comfortable with a little bit too much, and a guy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, man, bringing that guy up when your running game has been struggling and you're playing a Bills team that has a bad run defense.
He doesn't really have a track record either to be like, right. Oh, here's the answer.
Right. And so, I mean, I would like to see, man, like, okay, so don't put Elijah Mitchell out there if it's an obvious passing down or where it's a play where he has to protect Patrick. But let's see what the guy's got. You know what you got with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, man. Brashard Smith, the rookie, I still don't. I feel like there's maybe like a worry, like with like ball security and him being a rookie and really trusting him, right? I mean, if he goes out there and puts the ball on the ground in a big game, it's going to put the Chiefs in a bad spot. So, Nick, what are you thinking is maybe a key or a couple keys to pulling out a victory over the Broncos and staying in this AFC West race?
Yeah, I think making Bo Nix beat you with his arm and not his legs is going to be huge. Like containing him and not letting him get loose and run for yardage.
Maybe put that Lamar Jackson formula that they've used on him.
Yeah, I think 100%. And if you look at it, like he's like 18 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, right? So like if they can do that and get him to turn into Bo Picks, it's going to be favorable for us.
Bo Picks.
Right. And then figuring out how to
picks.
and then figuring out on offense how we like basically like nullify their pass rush, right? So there's a few things there. I think good timing throws, right? Fast completions for Patrick that go for positive yards. Screen plays, like I bet you 24 like could do some damage with some good screen, right?
Yeah.
And then Bo, like you're talking about, like if our running backs could come through for us. I think those Elijah Mitchell plays are like right behind the QB sneak plays that they have.
Right.
So that's probably like not going to happen. But I mean, if we could get Kareem Hunt to, just do well enough that like it slows down their pass rush, like I think that we're going to be just fine. I mean, I think that's going to open up some things downfield. But yeah, I think that those are the key things that I'm looking for.
What about you, Scott? What do you think the keys to this game are going to be? Nick kind of brought up the O-line a little bit, being able to protect Patrick. Think that's going to be huge, or what do you think?
Yeah, to me, that's like the biggest key to the whole game right there. Not letting them hound Patrick. Look, we've seen this. What happens to the Chiefs when they've struggled on offense? It's when the other team gets pressure on Patrick, especially with 4 guys. We saw it a little bit. I know the offensive line was banged up and Simmons has been out. So if he can come back, hopefully that solidifies that left tackle spot. Hopefully, I know Juwan Taylor has been maligned with the penalties. But look, I will take right now. I'll sign up for maybe a not lined up on the line of scrimmage penalty or a false start penalty rather than having someone in there that is going to be giving up consistent pressure. Because Juwan Taylor, he's played pretty good and done a pretty good job in pass protection when he's out there on the field. Look, I mean, outside of a couple of left and right tackles in the NFL, like sometimes you just got to tip your cap to the other team and a guy makes a play.
But we could say Bosa's an anomaly going up against him too, right? Like one of the anomalies of the NFL.
Right. So, and then Taylor, he got hurt, right? And he had the ankle injury. And so you saw Wanya Morrison there. You definitely don't want to see that going on against the Broncos. Because to me, that's the one area where they can kind of like level the playing field and drag the Chiefs down to their levels. If they can get pressure on Patrick consistently and not let them run the offense. Outside of that, I mean, honestly, I think if the Chiefs can keep Patrick clean and give him some time. Nick, you mentioned the quick hitters, right? If they can get the ball out quick, we've seen teams do that to kind of like avoid pressure and neutralize the pass rush. I think the Chiefs are going to be good in this game. Would it be nice to be able to run the ball on the Broncos? Yeah, to slow the pass rush. Yeah, that'd be nice. Rashard Smith, to me, he looks small when he's out there too. So I don't know if he can take the hits. Talked about Kareem Hunt. We talked about it last week. I know people were saying that he was averaging 7 or 8 yards a carry there in that Bills game there early, but I don't think you can hand the ball to Kareem Hunt 23 or 24 or 25 times in a game.
I agree, dude.
At his age. And I don't know that you can put that load on a rookie running back who –
not if you want him to be productive in the postseason, right?
Right, yeah. And look, like Rashard Smith has shown some flashes. Nick, you mentioned the screen game, but he's a wide receiver that's converted to running back. There's last year in college. So, it's going to be the offensive line, man. They're going to have to nut it up, and they're going to have to find a way to slow down that pass rush. Nick, there's a lot of talk about the Broncos defense going into this game. I feel like the Chiefs got a pretty good defense too. I know they gave up 28 points against the Bills. I know a lot was made about, James Cook finally, they finally gave up a 100-yard rusher. Yeah, it was on like 27 carries. The Bills, they stuck with it. Cook definitely had a couple nice runs there, but you saw when the Chiefs were able to stuff him on first down, that completely put the Broncos offense in neutral, and you saw them with some 3-and-outs and some short drives that ended in punts. I mean, what do you think? I mean, Chiefs defense, they should play very, very well against a struggling Broncos offense.
Yeah, I there's a reason that I brought up specifically, right? Like that they need to keep him from being able to run. And I think that that's because I'm not that concerned about us on first and second down. It's when it's 3rd and 7, right? Not letting them scramble for a first down and extend the drive. Wild. So I just to me that's going to be, the thing. I know that, look, they're like a smash mouth team, and they want to be like tough, right? The Broncos want to be tough and beat you up, and some folks might even call their defense dirty the way that they play, and maybe take some free shots at quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, Texans fans probably no love lost there, right? And how they took out Stroud, but
even going back to that Raiders game, right? The guy dove and took down Geno Smith by the ankles well after the play was over. I mean, not only was it a late hit, but it was a low hit.
Yeah. So I think that they the defense needs to just match that physicality, right? And if they can keep him from getting free and getting yards, then I think that their offense is really going to struggle. Our defense is really good. I think that Bo Nix seems like a prime candidate for some good Spags blitzes, right? To get got on some exotic blitzes. And so I really feel confident that the defense is going to be pretty stifling to this Broncos team.
Bo, Chiefs defense has got to be kind of licking their chops a little bit here, right? I mean, before that Bills game, they were holding teams to have the shutout against the Raiders. They held Washington to
Yeah.
7 points. They were on a pretty good stretch there.
Yeah, I do. I think it's a pretty competent squad. Just Buffalo's a good team, and like as you guys have said, sometimes you gotta tip your hat to the other team. I mean, they're a good offensive team. The rules kind of lead in favor, or it lead towards in favor of the offense anyway. So defenses are always kind of put behind the 8 ball. But yeah, we're right up there. I think like most like PFF grades and everything, any grade you kind of look out there, they kind of put the Chiefs and the Broncos defense kind of at like the same. Like we're both allowing like 17, 18 points per game on average. The pressure rate seems to be similar. Same with like sacks and everything. So yeah, we kind of match up defensively pretty well. I just think, man, if we can get that line cleaned up, and I think playing in Denver will actually help this versus Buffalo. Buffalo was rocking like almost like Arrowhead loud. They were so loud, and you guys have seen Denver games, not as loud, a big open air at elevation, right? You can hear your guys a little bit better. So I feel like having that communication back will help our guys a little bit more. But man, I would just love to see some good pass rush from there. I think that's going to be the key for our defense. I'm not worried about our coverage. I'm not worried about our run defense. I'm not worried about anything like that. I'm just worried about like giving him all day, like we saw Josh Allen. Josh Allen had 10 seconds in a clean pocket, right? And that's what we cannot afford to do again or ever again this season, really.
Yeah, it'd be good to see them turn some pressures into sacks too. And you look at the Chiefs' pressure rate and some of their guys, if they get pressure, they just it doesn't like materialize and it doesn't turn into sacks and getting the quarterback on the ground. So, yeah, look, the Broncos, Bo Nix, we've talked about him and kind of some of his shortcomings and the offensive struggles. The running game, I know J.K. Dobbins has had, but he was been dealing with an injury again. And R.J. Harvey, I want to say, had a nice game against the Cowboys, who have a terrible, maybe the worst defense in the NFL. So outside of that, hasn't done a whole lot. I think the Chiefs, they're good at stuffing the run. I like their chances to really, really, really stymie the Broncos offense. Man, I know I was talking about the key of the game being the Chiefs offensive line and being able to protect Patrick and slow that down. But how nice would it be to only have to score maybe like 14 or 17 points in this game against a really good Broncos defense, right, Nick?
Only having to or only scoring that many points?
I'm saying if you only had to. I mean, if you don't have to go out there and feel the pressure to put up 27 points against a really good defense.
Yeah, I mean, if the entry point to winning is a lower score, that's always better, right? I think Curtis Siebold, I sent you guys, he posted, was it 53-0? Patrick's 53-0. If the defense holds the opposing team to 17 points or less than 17 points, I forget exactly what the tweet said.
Stat, by the way.
I mean, so yeah, you definitely feel like a lot better about our chances of winning if our defense can, hold them to less than 20 points, right? I mean, like if the Broncos don't score 20 points, you guys feel pretty good about the Chiefs winning the game, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel a lot better if they could hold them under 10 or 13 points. I mean, God, if the Chiefs give up 20 points in this game, that's a failure on their part, as far as I'm concerned, defensively. Bo, I mean,
I feel like that's a defensively bad outing.
Man? Like, I don't know.
Again?
I was just going to say, like, that's a bad day. The Chiefs' defense has had a bad day if they give up 20 points in this game. Right?
I mean, I feel like that's but I mean, like against any other team, that's kind of normal. But just this team, I feel like right now, that would be a bad day, especially when you look at the
Raiders
Broncos past
10.
3 weeks, right? Like, they're not scoring more than 16, 17 points a game pretty much. Yeah, I think it'd be a bad outing, but just depends on how we're performing, right? If, like, a lot of that's junk and they score 20 and we put up, hate to say it, a burger, I'd be okay with it.
That's a tall task.
I got my chef's outfit over there, though. It's hanging up. It's ready. I'm ready.
Against that defense, man, that would be shocking if the Chiefs can go out there and do that. But we've seen Patrick Mahomes before carve up number one defenses. So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility for him to come out there. They've been hearing all the shit talking, and they've heard they see the little graphics where they be at the 8th seed, out of the playoffs right now. they know how big of a game this is. And I don't think you're going to see any sleepwalking. I don't think you're going to see them looking past this team. I think they're going to have their full, completely focused, undivided attention in the game. Looks like we got Laney saying they need to score TDs. Yeah, no, that definitely is
goes
key.
a long way.
The Chiefs, really, they've been a good red zone offense this year, honestly. I know everybody is like going back and still freaking out about them kicking the field goal going into half against the Bills, which was the smart play, by the way, that gave the Chiefs the ball twice at the end of the game down one score with a chance to go down tie or maybe even win the game with a 2-point conversion. So look,
yeah, I'm always a fan of taking points, right? Like, always take the field goal when you can, but I think it was just disappointing they were on the half-yard line and the procedure they did it.
Right. I mean, this is getting off a little bit of a tangent, but we saw the Eagles go for it on a silly fourth down. I'm trying to think. I know I saw another game this week. God, what was it? Where the team didn't take the field goal and it would have made it a one-possession game. What game was that? Coaches are going for it too much on fourth down and not taking the points now. It seems like they've gone from not going for it enough on fourth down to going for it too often, right? I mean, I
brought this up like 3-4 weeks ago, I feel like, and I was just like, well, is it just me? Like, this feels weird. And then like every week, it's just like, huh. But then like you watch that Broncos Raiders game and they're not going for it at all. And you're like, well, guys, I think you just need to put a little spark in this game. Go for it, man. Like, what made you lose your edge against this opponent right now? If this was the Chiefs, you would 100% go for any 4th and 2 anywhere on the field, pretty much. But no, yeah, it's wild to watch. I think it is a thing. Yeah.
Nick, I mean, overall in general, NFL teams, you think teams are going for it too much now on fourth down? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Like, I think Andy Reid's going for it just the right amount of times. But I think overall in the league, people are getting a little greedy, especially when they're, it's like they're up a score, their defense is playing well, and then they are like going for it on like their own 44-yard line. It's like, man, you can pin that other team deep, right? Like,
right.
Your defense has been playing really well. I would say yes. I think the pendulum swung a little bit too far the other way. Like, I'll say that the coaching decision that like irritates me more is going for 2 when you don't need to go for 2.
Oh.
Like,
oh, man,
to me,
so
that's
bad.
where like, okay, it's not the time to go for 2. And how many times have you seen it where it's like then all of a sudden now they're down 4 points at the end of the game after that, right? Because of how the scores were inevitably work out, and now they're going for a touchdown instead of just needing a field goal to tie the game. And
right.
So I think that decision is probably, you see it a lot more, or it's more hurtful. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like seeing teams go for it, man. I don't know. Maybe
I do too.
Oh, yeah.
And like I feel like to your point, Andy Reid's going for it a little bit more. Like he's a little bit more aggressive versus the conservative play calling he used to put in the past, right? Yeah, Well, that was
just go get it, Patrick.
They kind of had to go for it there. I thought.
Yeah,
I felt like that was like you got to go for it, right? And it's not like Andy Reid's just like in the first quarter going for it on 4th and 17, but.
Right.
I mean, we've gone for it on 4th down, like on their side of the field several times early in games, like, and that's just stealing a possession if you can get it. So I don't know. I think that it's better to err on going for it too much than not enough, as long as it's not like what was Brandon Staley or whoever that was for the Chargers that did it like every 4th down, right?
Right. And it was the
pioneer of this craze, right?
And it was the Colts game where they were down at like the 4 or the 5-yard line. It was 4th and goal or something, and a field goal would have made it like a 1-point game or something. They were down by, and they're like, "Oh, we're going for this. We're going for the touchdown." And they ended up winning that game, so ended up not hurting them in the end. But man, kick the field goal and go down 1. I don't. Your defense has been doing good as the Falcons, right? Falcons, Colts. Kick the field goal, go down 1. Or if it's, you're halfway through the second quarter and you score and you're down by 2, like you don't need to go for the 2-point conversion right now to tie it, man. Just kick the 1 point, right? Because you don't want to be chasing that point later. So that draws a lot of argument from people online when you point that out. Not that anything doesn't really draw.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, right? take the
Yeah.
points. Like field goals are like,
Right.
yeah, they're there for a reason. But then there's like the complete other side of that pendulum. Like people are trusting their kickers now at like 68 yards, almost goddamn near 70 yards to
right,
kick
yeah.
field goals too. What do you guys think about that? Like swing
That's
too,
crazy.
because that's like a new trend too. They're also like
Check the
pumping.
balls
They have
for
kickers
helium.
balls now that like have a little bit more psi, go 2 or 3
Yeah.
yards further than they used to, which I feel is a little bullshit, but
Right.
that's wild.
Check the balls for helium. Something. Yeah, it's how wild is it too that Harrison Butker was like the best kicker in the NFL with like the biggest leg, right? And from distance. And then seemingly like overnight going into this year now there's like 4 or 5 guys that are better than him and kick
crushing
longer
it.
field goals than he did. So I don't know, some of it's got to do with the ball. But I know, Bo, you're short on time tonight, right? We're getting close to your mark here.
Yeah,
My
we
math is
got like
correct.
15 more minutes. We're good.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you had to go sooner than that. So, I mean, I don't know. Any other thoughts, you guys? Bo, on this game, anything, this matchup we haven't talked about that we need to talk about? Or
Let's see. Man, I mean, we've talked about their defense a lot. I mean, I just feel like
Yeah.
a bit like we really got to like that's like the biggest highlight is the biggest threat for us is their defense.
yeah,
Having a
for sure.
field day with us, right? They're formidable. Can't say enough good things about them there. They got that guy from San Francisco, Mufunga. I
Yeah,
don't know why. I don't know what it is about that guy. I've always been a fan of him since they've drafted him, dude. I've called him Motherfunga for a while. Like
Right,
he's got a good football head on him, man. He's got a good
Yeah,
feel for the game.
That was
and
our
I
man
think he
John
can-
V, I think, is where you got that from.
Oh, I gave it to him. I gave that to him.
Did
I'd
you?
comment that on the locker room rant all the time. Yeah, Motherfunga.
Okay.
But yeah, oh yeah. But yeah, I think he could be a headache. So I'm just
Yeah.
thinking like that. Yeah. I think that's
Yeah.
the biggest threat for
No
us.
Patrick Surtain. We haven't talked about that. That changes that defense quite a bit.
They're kind of banged up. J.K. Dobbins didn't practice. He's
Yeah,
banged
they're-
up too.
Number 1 corner on defense, one of the best corners in the NFL. Nick, how big of an impact is that on the Broncos defense not having that guy?
Yeah, with Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, right?
Hollywood
mix.
Brown and Travis Kelce.
Hollywood, yeah, Travis Kelce, Hollywood Brown. Like, I mean, you don't want to hear your cornerback is going down when
Right.
you're going in to face that receiving core. So, I think that'll play in. I think that the Chiefs are going to press, right, for scoring, right. You've seen that we were talking about Andy Reid being aggressive on 4th downs, and I think that that'll hopefully keep that defense a little back on their heels, man. That we're being aggressive and trying to throw the ball down the field. I just hope that equates into the Broncos offense pushing and giving us extra possessions with turnovers because they're pushing and make some bad decisions. So
You think that's a big enough
Yeah.
loss, Scott, having that position out? You think we see an employment of like Tyquan Thornton against whoever they put in there?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely better for the Chiefs to not have. I mean, that goes for any team and anybody's best defensive player. I don't know if you want to call Patrick Surtain their best defensive player, but anytime you don't have to face a top corner in the league, that definitely helps. I worry about the Chiefs maybe getting a little too like deep pass happy with that pass rush, man, because you got to keep Patrick upright and you got to keep him clean and you got to keep those guys off of him. So,
Deep balls to Worthy and Tyquan all day. Let's do it.
yeah, I mean, if they can get Patrick
All
enough
day.
time to do it, I think you're going to see a lot of Rashee Rice and those quick slants coming off the line and playing out of the slot.
I think that you're going to see that to start, right?
Quite a bit of that. But if you can soften them up with that and get them on their heels, like Bo was saying, yeah, you can definitely. I'm not saying you can't hit them with deep balls, but I mean, I think if your plan is to just have a bunch of 5 and 7 step drops and chuck it deep, I don't think that's a very good plan against their pass rush and that defensive line. So,
It's just not a good plan in general.
right. I don't know. We do score predictions.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Who's going first this week?
I already
Nobody get
got
it
mine.
last week.
What's that?
Nobody got it last week, huh?
Nobody got it last week. No, nobody got it right.
I think I predicted it was going to be 0-0.
I think we did predict a bye, actually.
No score.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with a scoregami here. Chiefs
Ooh.
win 36-12.
36-12.
What's a scoregami?
That's a final score that's never happened before.
Yeah.
A unique final score.
Oh.
Which, according to NFL Scoregami on Twitter, happens every game now. They need to
probably a
fix
lot
that
of open
bot or that
slots.
algorithm or whatever it is. Nick and I saw Scoregami in person, the Houston Texans playoff game, right?
When you get into the 50s, there's a lot of scoregamis open.
There's a lot. Well, when one team scores 50, that definitely changes it a bunch. So
That'd be a cool
man,
t-shirt.
that's a 24-point win. Is that what you just predicted?
I did.
Woo.
Told you I was feeling. I told you I was feeling confident about this, man.
That's
riding
real
the
confident.
train.
Man. That's 36 points against that defense. Okay.
I
mean, I like it. I'll take it.
The Giants scored 32.
Yeah, no, look, I'm not saying it can't be done. We've seen how many times we've seen people say, "Oh, Patrick going up number one defense, going up at number one defense."
Here you go,
like
Bo.
it's usually the 49ers.
Here's the scoregami chart, so you can see here.
Green's all the ones that have been taken.
Yeah, so you can pick here's the one score at the top, and then the other score down here, right? And so it's 36. I think 36 to 12 is open. So there's only a few.
Go.
So.
I'm not going to go.
I don't think Brian's. I don't think our guy one man show 23-4. I don't think that's got a very good likelihood. That would probably be Scoregami.
Let's see.
Was that on the chart? 23.
That's got to be That's got to be every possibility where one team scores 4 points. I mean, it's too safe.
Yeah, there's only, according to this, there's only been one score where the team ended with a 4.
Yeah,
and it was 10-4.
10-4.
And it was here you go. 10-4. The Racing Legion 10. The Chicago Cardinals 4. November 25th, 1923.
1923. Okay.
So
back in the leather helmet days.
Must have been a cold weather day or something.
Pre-merger.
Right.
Pre-merger. Bo, you got a score ready? You want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 28-17. I'm feeling we gotta handle it comfortably. I feel like we've been holding teams to about that threshold. Yeah, 28-17 is gonna be.
All right. I'm kind of right in there with you, Bo. Now I'm going 24-13.
All right. Doesn't seem like a high productive offensive day.
No, look, I just feel like I feel like the Chiefs defense is going to step on that offense and hold them down. And I know, I think the Chiefs are going to be motivated, but I don't know that you'll see a score run up in this one. Now,
no, I would love it.
The return match on Christmas night at Arrowhead, you might see some payback score running up in that game if the Chiefs get in position to do that. But they definitely have not forgotten though. Sitting all the starters, basically gift wrapping the Broncos a playoff berth last year, only for them to be throwing the ball deep and running the score up on the backups and the third stringers. So I don't know if you see revenge so much this week. I think you might see it in the second contest, but
I think this one's more calculated and measured, right?
It's definitely going to piss them off, though. I mean, it's definitely a motivating factor for the team to come in, because you've seen Andy not run the score up on other people, right? And I mean, I'm sorry, everybody talks about what a great coach Sean Payton is. I think the guy's overrated. He went to one Super Bowl with Drew Brees, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. And we all know the Bounty Gate. Listen, we're all old school football fans from the 80s and 90s, right? Back when defenses could hit people or whatever. But
back when Marty Schottenheimer might pay your fine if you do something, yeah.
Right. But
kick out a certain Broncos quarterback who
right. I just when you see the guy do interviews and you hear him talk and you see him run the score up on Chiefs backups and just some of the stuff he says, the guy's a dick, man. I don't care. He is. He has an a-hole.
My favorite was I was going to draft Patrick Mahomes if they didn't draft him right in front of me.
Oh, yeah, sure you were. Yeah, I was going to buy the game. I was going to buy the winning Powerball ticket, but I didn't get by the gas station in time, too. Right? Oh, those are the numbers I always play. Sure, buddy, whatever.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, he's smug, and he's an a-hole, and I don't like the guy. So I didn't really care.
Smug, talking shit on somebody who's smug.
Right. Well, hey. there's only so much smugness that can go around, and I mean,
It's getting a little smuggy in here.
I gotta defend my crown, man, as Mr. Smug. Oh man, I talked to Nick. I talked to Nick the other day. He said to tell you guys hi. Actually, I think I forgot to tell you that. That's funny. You said that. So, our man Nick over in the UK, who really we kind of have to thank for Chiefs Kingdom Live.
Right, old Shed Club.
Yeah, man, I was
thinking about that the other day, dude.
Like, it was so much fun.
That show was a lot of fun.
12 guys on there, just all giving their picks and talking shit. That was great.
Right? Yeah, no, it was fun, and it was really fun being the Chiefs fan on there, and then being 49ers fans for the most part. That was a lot of fun because we did a lot of ass kicking on the 49ers for the last 5 or 6 years. So.
One man show says, Scott, on draft day, I sent you a text saying we needed to jump the Saints to get Mahomes.
Yeah, no, I do remember Brian was wanting to get
Receipts.
Mahomes.
Let's see it, or I don't believe it.
I don't know. My phone, I don't even know. My text messages probably don't go that far back. I got to delete my text message things out because it slows my phone down.
That's a text message you don't delete and you save. Like, see?
Right. Yeah, Laney was a fan of Shant Club NFL. That was good times, man. COVID, it was when that thing started, and Nick, and that's where we met our man John V, our boy, our buddy, and ultimately Nico. And I haven't seen Nico on here in a while. I saw someone put out there
tough sledding for the Browns.
Tough sledding for the Browns. I saw someone posted.
I'd stay off the internet too.
Dude, I saw someone posted a screenshot of the Browns ticket sales right now, like online, and there was people. It was like tickets listed for like $11 and $8, and someone put on, damn, bro, I just went on their website and the cheeseburger's like $16. The concession items are going for more than the tickets. So, oh man, Browns fans, they got to be the most tortured fan base of maybe all the sports. Definitely the NFL, right? I mean,
I was trying to tell him, man. I was like, dude, like you guys, your team is just totally and utterly screwed for like the next like 3 years, man. He's like, oh no, we could do that. What are we supposed to do? I'm like, you're just supposed to suck. That's what's going to happen.
Suck it out. You're just going to have to take it for the next 3 years. When you pay guys like Deshaun Watson as much money as you paid him guaranteed,
and get literally nothing,
and get nothing for it, and on top of that, also pay Myles Garrett, who great player, no one's arguing that, but you can't pay defensive ends that kind of money. And the guy's making like what, $40 million a year or some shit.
Dude, Deshaun Watson reset the quarterback market with his contract, and then laid the biggest dud the NFL's ever seen, man.
Oh man, well, who could see
it's
that?
All guaranteed too.
Hey man, who could have seen that coming after the guy was out of the league for a year and a half? I mean, come on.
I feel like all those allegations were pending too, like when they made that trade.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he settled some of those things. I don't remember the exact timeline, but
he just like totally wiped out any potential for people to get guaranteed contracts.
Well, I mean, he didn't. The owner and the general manager that gave him that contract did. I mean, what was he supposed to do? Say, "Oh no, that's too much money," and that's really. But if this doesn't work
he could have still played well, like. You know,
he wasn't though. He sat out for a year and a half.
That was the year after we had just won the Super Bowl, right? When he got that contract, because Mahomes had just got his contract for like what was it, $500 million over 10 years, right? Yeah. And then he came in with like 53 a year.
Mike Vick went to prison and came back and like was pretty good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't like $200 million guaranteed good, but
he got hurt too, though, right? He got an injury after he didn't play for a year and a half. I don't know. It was just, I mean, it was definitely not like a hindsight. It's 2020. It was a bad idea to give him all that money. Definitely like
hindsight's 2020. It's like, nah, man. Like
that foresight
was 2010 on that one.
Yeah, foresight was definitely 2010. So,
Your telegraph is like, this is a bad move. Like,
right.
That's the problem. They were operating by telegraph.
I don't know if you can pull up the X account here. Bo, you can feel free to jump off anytime you need to go, man. I know you said you had to be out.
Yeah, I will. I will.
So, so if Bo just disappears or cuts in, that's where he's going. But Nick, can you get to the Chiefs Kingdom Live X account here?
Yeah, I got it up.
there was a lot of talk about the Chiefs and their inactivity at the trade deadline, and a lot of Chiefs Kingdom wanted Breece Hall from the Jets. There was some rumors, some talk circulating heading up to the deadline that the Chiefs were interested in him. And then there was a report. I don't know how accurate the report is that the Chiefs offered a fourth. The Jets were steadfast. They were only taking a third. Look, man, like if you're not planning on signing the guy and he wants to be traded, you're gonna stick your nose up in the air over one round, right? A third or fourth round draft pick. So just kind of wanted to like compare the two. So if you go on Pro Football Reference, they got this handy dandy tool here where you can just put two players side by side.
Here, I'm going to zoom in. We know Pacheco's on the left.
What they look like, right? Yeah. Clearly, you can see that Breece Hall is a better player. I don't think anybody is arguing that Breece Hall is a better running back than Isaiah Pacheco, but when you look at the receiving numbers, it's definitely in his favor. But I mean, if you look at his rushing yards per attempt, he's 0.1 better than Pacheco. And in 3 more games, he has 2 more, right, rushing touchdowns.
On 120 more attempts, though, in those 3 games. He has. Right. I mean, I don't know if it's in those 3 games specifically, but over
no. I'm just saying
in these numbers. Yeah. He's got 120 more rushing attempts.
Right. And only 2 more touchdowns in 3 more games. Bo, would you have given up a third-round pick to bring Breece Hall in over Isaiah Pacheco? Now, look, the receiving numbers are definitely slanted towards Breece Hall. Breece Hall also has played with the Jets and a bad offense, so you have to take some of that into consideration. But everybody, it seemed like online was pissed and clowning on the Chiefs that they should have given up that third round. If you were willing to give up a fourth, you should have given up a third. I mean, is that cut and dry? And would you have given up a third-round pick to bring Breece Hall in?
The internet's so funny, dude. They don't know the inner workings of the finances and drafts and what the office and the team thinks about prospective picks and stuff like that, man. It's like, of course, everybody thinks that that's what they should have done, but they have a plan. They're not just like going year by year. Like the Chiefs are super forward thinking in my opinion. These numbers I feel like are also hard to look at too, because the Jets just have such a different scheme. Obviously, like these numbers for Pacheco are obviously under Mahomes, right? Of a more pass heavy team where you have him looking for Kelsey and other receivers and not necessarily him, and they're not like a run heavy team.
Yeah, he definitely has 100 more touches in only 3 more games. So
yeah, exactly. So they definitely lean on him more, and him being like that much more of a talent in their division. Like, yeah, you're gonna lean on him a little bit more, right? Like, go with what kind of works in there. But like, I don't think you can be that
yards per rush
that strict, man. Like, draft picks are so crazy; they're so hit or miss. Like, I don't know. They're pretty valuable. I don't know if you can be like that steadfast with them, but I'm pretty sure the Jets were consumed with a whole nother trade, right? Didn't they trade somebody big with
they traded
with the Cowboys?
They traded a few guys.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they got like caught up in some of that, and like I don't know if Breece Hall was really looking to get traded, really, too.
Oh, well, I mean, he wanted out. I mean, he made it pretty clear that he wanted to be traded, and he did not want to be on the Jets anymore.
See, I did not know that, but okay. All that aside, even still, like, I personally would have loved to see any kind of move on the defensive pass rush side.
Right, that would have helped, yeah.
I think fans are just kind of frustrated they didn't make any moves, because I feel like that kind of is the move to like get somebody to help you, but I feel like they know what they're doing.
They're kind of used to trades, because usually the trade deadline, the Chiefs have made moves and brought.
And we've seen some really good ones, right? But like, I feel like they're really good at measuring out that risk to income regard.
And Breece Hall, he's in the last year of his contract, so he would be a free agent at the end of the year. You'd have to either pay him a contract extension or let him walk.
Yeah.
So would you have traded him for a third or not, Bo?
No, I feel like we have enough at running back to get by. I don't feel like that was our position. Like we kind of brought it up in weeks past where our run game really started developing once we got back to full strength at our receivers. Like it really opened up the defense and really allowed like our running game to breathe a little bit. And I feel like we have the depth there that's fine. So I don't think I would have. Like I said, I would have rather seen something on the defensive side.
Nick, would you have traded a third round pick for Breece Hall?
Yeah, no. I mean, look, so you could, for a third round pick, you can either get like a half a season of running back who's moderately better than Isaiah
you got?
Pacheco, what you
Yeah.
got, or you could get 4 years of a guy the caliber of Nick Bolton. Like there's just like the cost there is just it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And you don't know that he's going to play any better in your offense. Like
Yeah, I mean, you're not getting Jonathan Taylor or something. I mean,
right, yeah. Well, and you think about it, so like I know that, there was the touchdown in the Super Bowl that Kadarius Toney got in the punt return. So I'm not saying he didn't contribute at all, but like you look at the mid
Outside of that,
our in-season
third round
trade
pick
that we
is what
did,
they gave up for
it was a
Tony.
third round pick, but
Yeah.
he also wasn't on the last year of his rookie deal, right?
No.
Then you look at like was it
Unfortunately.
Joshua Uche, right?
Yeah.
Like that was another in-season pick for like
Yeah. But
that
he was
would-
good with other teams. They didn't use him.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
whole
a
other, I
great-
mean, to me,
But
like
my point is that like you
good example.
you've
were kinda
traded for
stubborn.
guys in this situation, and Tony had a couple of good plays in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to say that he won the game for us or anything. You could make an argument that maybe he without him we don't win the game. I don't know if that's true or not either. I think Patrick was gonna win that game no matter what.
John
The way he
C,
played
what's
in the
up,
second
buddy?
half, but I just don't think like I just don't think like the cost is worth what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? And I just feel like
Yeah.
like people that are like, well, we gotta, like they haven't been watching the movie. Like, it's like, dude, like we went to the last 3 Super Bowls. Like now you think you're smarter than the GM. Now you think that they're just like
Right.
making dumb moves. Like, this
Right.
team, the record doesn't indicate it. This team is better than what we had last year at this point. You know what I mean?
Full strength, yeah. Yeah.
And so like I'm just like I think we're good, and like I think that they're standing pat with their guys, and they're saying we're good, we're gonna believe in our guys, and I don't know, man. Like I think that like the people that are like hot on you got to trade, and well, it's only a third round pick. It's like I don't know, man. Those are those people that are like broke. Like
Wasn't Jamal Charles a third round
before they
pick?
get paid every paycheck, man. They're like just like always spending money that they ain't got, and like draft picks are valuable, dude. Like
Right.
when we've got Patrick Mahomes and the amount of money that he's making in like some of the contracts we have on our team, like those draft picks are valuable in getting players and maintaining the team for years to come. So
Well, you need draft picks too, a certain amount to fill in the roster at the back end with guys on cheap rookie deals, because when you're paying Chris Jones and Patrick Mahomes and hopefully Trent McDuffie coming up here, when you're paying guys big contracts like that, you got to have some cheap, I don't want to say bottom of the barrel contracts, but you got to be able to have 53 guys on the roster.
Also picking
unless
at
you're the
30
Chiefs,
too.
you got 51 guys on the roster because you got Elijah Mitchell and Christian Fulton on there and inactive and not playing ever. But that's a whole other argument there. Yeah,
You're taking the scraps, dude. You're picking at 30, 32. We have, you know what I mean? Like,
right. I would not have given a third round pick for Breece Hall. I think he's better than Isaiah Pacheco. I don't know that he's better enough to give up a third round draft pick for. Maybe someone can fact check me here. I'm trying to remember back. Jamal Charles was a third round pick, right? I'm not saying the Chiefs are going to go out and draft a franchise leading rusher next year in the third round, but there are good players, and the Chiefs could go into next year and get a good running back in the third round that's going to be on the team for
Jamal
4
Charles
years.
was third.
If we're going to spend a third round pick on a running back,
right,
it should be a running back that we're drafting.
Right. I feel like a lot of these fans that want to just give draft picks away for they're the kids that like traded away their lunches at school, and they're like, we're sitting there and like had nothing to eat or like didn't like what they had, right? Because they something else looked better, right? The grass is always greener. I think our man Chiefs Insider Plus said everybody else's Christmas toys or Christmas presents look better than what you got
Right.
until you actually get it, which I thought was like a funny analogy. So, yeah, I don't know that the value is there. I just don't know that he's that much better to give up draft capital like that. Definitely a better player. Again, not trying to see people like finding this online and clipping it. This guy thinks Isaiah Pacheco is better than Brees. You obviously haven't been watching the show either. These people that were dragging us like, surely this isn't Isaiah Pacheco propaganda. Or I'm like, bro, like you haven't watched the show. We've been kind of hard on Isaiah Pacheco before it was popular, right? We're kind of like hipster down on Isaiah Pacheco before it was cool. I don't think we were really fooled by the stomp on the ground really hard.
The day we got Hunt back, I was just like, oh, who?
Yeah,
Pop,
right.
Pop,
Right. And listen, man, Kareem Hunt's extremely valuable for what he has been in the short yardage, 3rd and 4th and 1s and whatnot. So, yeah, well, man, Show inherits somebody else's headache. I think he's pissed because he's a good player and he's on a shitty team that continues to do dumb shit. So I don't know that he's like a malcontent or a guy that is hard to please.
Yeah,
there's
like
some people that care about
queen.
winning still, and it feels to me like he's one of them. So
he sees all the talk too. We're like, you've seen so many players go to New York and just do so terrible, and then they go somewhere else and just thrive, right? I'm sure he's kind of like, man, could I be that guy too?
Right, playing for the Jets gotta suck, unless you just all you care about is money and you got a fat payday and you want the shorter season and not have to play extra games and have a longer off season, which I'm sure there's guys out there that just care about the money and hey man, good for you, get yours if that's what motivates you. But yeah, I don't know that he's necessarily a problem or a locker room cancer. I think he just plays on a shitty team and wants out. And he'll get his chance, right? Because his contract's going to expire at the end of this year and there's going to be teams that will be offering him money. I'm sure some of them will be good and some of them won't. And he'll have his opportunity to go play on a better team next year. So I don't know. Anything else we missed? Anything you guys want to get to? Or
no, let's wrap this up. I gotta take off here.
Bo's getting ready to bail. So
yeah, nice.
Yeah, big game. Real quick, is this a must win for the Chiefs? Bo?
Yes.
Nick said yes. Must win.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's a must win. I mean, if you want to win the division, it is. But I don't think they have to win this game to ultimately end up in the playoffs. But it's a big game, and it's against a division rival. Chiefs need to go in and win this game, man. They need to reassert their dominance. And with the Colts game coming up on the horizon, a win here is going to be huge. Man, John C., hope you have a good night, too. Really appreciate everybody who watches. We really look forward to doing this every week, and y'all in the chat make the show.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Not as fun without y'all. So, Chiefs, Broncos, Sunday at Mile High. The Chiefs fighting to stay alive in the AFC West and really, really, really help their playoff chances, too, overall. So, we'll be back next week, hopefully talking about the Chiefs getting back in the win column. Until then, let's go Chiefs.
Let's go, Chiefs.
Let's go Chiefs.